AI is going to take a lot of jobs, or some positive entrepreneurs are saying that AI is going to create a lot of jobs. So, what is your opinion or your thought on that?
All this technology created new avenues of business,
Yeah.
opened new products, new avenues, new spaces for the business, and eventually it created more jobs.
18 ईयर ओल्ड को अगर हमको समझाना है कि AI कैसे काम कर रहा है,
AI has large set of data which is getting trained, and eventually once it is trained on specific things, upon asking specific things, it gives us a specific answers.
सभी स्टूडेंट्स या कोई भी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल है, सबका गो टू ऐप बन गया है चैट जीपीटी और जेमिनाई और देयर आर मोर अदर एआई एप्स, राइट?
Yeah.
So how this will affect at the end humans creativity or the ability of humans to build something?
People have asked certain questions. The chatbots are like one of the chatbot hallucinated, and when you ask anything, it will always reply as a Hitler.
Yeah.
So that type of things are more of a, say we can say, some disadvantages if AI is not used in a right way or a proper way.
Now India is also positioning in the AI era. So how do you see that, how AI is evolving, India is evolving in the terms of AI, and how it is adapting, or where will it reach at a global level?
India can be on head to head with the global leaders in the company, not only in AI but in lot of other technologies as well.
What is that learning that is making you, you are doing a lot of hard work, you are working your way out to just solve a lot of problems? What is it that is really into you?
पर प्रॉब्लम व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रोफेशनल लाइफ, वो बेंचमार्क नहीं है।
हाँ.
कि आप क्यों हारे, किसी ने आपको क्यों कुछ बोल दिया, ये खराब कर गया, वो बेंचमार्क नहीं है। a clear benchmark why you are losing. It's not every time you will win, right? So that openness should be there as an entrepreneur. So these are like 3-4 things that everyone should adapt and learn if they want to build something on their own.
हेलो एवरीवन, आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं, ही हैज 10 प्लस इयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस इन द फील्ड ऑफ एआई, एंड ही इज द चीफ एआई ऑफिसर एट सहाना सिस्टम लिमिटेड. ही इज ऑल्सो द फाउंडर एंड सीईओ ऑफ टस्कर एआई. इस पॉडकास्ट में हमने कैसे एआई मॉडल्स काम करते हैं से लेके कैसे हम उनको अपने एंटरप्रेन्योर जर्नी में इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं, कैसे स्टूडेंट्स अपने एआई की जर्नी शुरू कर सकते हैं, और कैसे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को कौन सी लर्निंग्स याद रखनी चाहिए टू स्टार्ट द एंटरप्रेन्योर जर्नी, उस पूरी जर्नी की हमने बात की है इन दिस पॉडकास्ट. सो नाउ let's dive into the conversation with our guest, Mr. Harshal Trivedi. So, thank you so much, sir, for doing this podcast with us. Sir, initially, let us just try कि एक 18 ईयर ओल्ड को अगर हमको समझाना है कि AI कैसे काम कर, हम जब प्रॉम्प्ट डाल रहे हैं तो कैसे आंसर इतना पर्सनलाइज मिल रहा है, वो हम पहले एक बार ऐसे होता ऑडियंस को समझा देते कि हाउ डज इट वर्क्स ऑन अ लार्जर बेसिस.
Yeah. So if we talk about AI, so AI eventually started way back. So like we also, when I started my, I think, bachelor's before 20 years, we had a book where we learned, there was a single subject on AI, and right now like there is a complete BTech which runs on AI. So AI is a term which is like pretty much there from like many years. So maybe it started like the term was before like 1970s. Now if we talk about AI, it has evaluated from like data analytics to machine learning to deep learning, then computer vision, then to NLP, and now you are like overall looking at the new variants of generative AI, LLMs and all. So now when you are asking these specific questions, it is specific to the generative AI space. But then when you talk about a large scale AI, that how an AI works, so AI is basically trained on set of data. So in a very simple way, if there is a small kid, right, so what we practice him every day. So if you want to make him speak papa or mama, so what do you say? Papa, papa, mama. Now he's not able to speak, but he is understanding our lips. And when we gradually do this for 15 days or a month or 2 months, he doesn't know the language also, but he's learning how we are speaking. So this is how now we have trained that for a month or two, so that small kid is able to learn that this is how I need to speak papa, or this is how I need to speak mama. Same way, AI has large set of data which is getting trained, and eventually once it is trained on specific things, upon asking specific things, it gives us a specific answers.
Yeah.
So that is overall how AI is trained and how it is giving us the answers.
Yeah. So, sir, knowing that you have been into this AI field for, let's say, more than 4 or 5 plus years now, um, how have you been interested in AI through college days? I mean, there was a particular group, or you joined something else, social media networking you did at that moment for AI. How did you manage to be interested in AI in college?
So when you talk about college days and all, so in our time, again I told AI was just a subject which came into the final semester. So no one would have heard like we used to learn Prolog language for AI. Now in college times, I was more interested in solving some problems through technology, building something into automation, or solving some real world problem with cutting edge technology. So that's how in college days I started learning new technologies with the regular studies and the regular programming languages or regular subjects which were there. So eventually it led to my first project in the first year, where I got involved with some of my seniors, where we started building something for the visually able people. So specifically the blind people. So there were like we went there to the like we have in Asia's largest blind center in Ahmedabad. We went there. So they had only like before 20 years they only had something where only primary and secondary students can learn. So their books were limited to primary and secondary. And they were more like hand papers and all. There was nothing much. If a visually able people want to do some higher studies or want to get graduate, you want to learn something into engineering. So that's part, let's build something for them where we created a device, a small device with technology where they can read higher secondary and engineering books or latest technology articles. So that was the first exposure where we solved a real world problem for betterment of the society. Then gradually, eventually, I did multiple internships. So there where I got exposure into IoT, where that particular company, where I was a part of that particular company as an intern, they work with big US government project into waste management and all. So that's where I learned that how to solve a specific technology problem at a larger scale. Then came a passion project, was more of a smelling device. So smelling device was basically what we were trying to build was through a laptop or through a personalized computer, how we can enable the smell technology. From there, I was first exposed to the AI term, where we implemented basic AI stuff into that particular project. So, if we talk about AI as a term, when solving multiple problems into cutting edge technologies over 2 3 years into my bachelor's, then came this particular project where we used AI to solve a specific problem. Now, my more deep dive into AI came when I did my master's, where in master's as a researcher, we were contributors to some Carnegie Mellon professors who were building their world's first auto machine learning tool way back in I think 2011 or 12. That's where we got more exposed to AI. We like learned a lot of power of AI, how like AI can change multiple things into multiple industries, and that led to my further career to build a company, build multiple startups or multiple products into AI. So this is how the evaluation of AI into me came from like college days, solving certain problems into new technology trends and cutting edge technology, and now here I am sitting building multiple AI products.
So, sir, was being CEO or an entrepreneur planned from that colleges, or you just were fascinated with the term AI?
So if you talk about CEO, founder, so these are like recent terms.
Yeah.
So if we talk in Gujarat, we tell ये धंधा करता है, right? So there was nothing term like the CEO and all these things. So basically, we and me and my friends were more passionate into the term technology, as I told in the like last question. So solving that technology problems multiple times, doing multiple real world projects, solving some impactful project for the society, for at a scale implementing certain things that led to the evolution that is what I am today. Now, on a lighter note, if I can say, like when we all are in final semester, we have a placement office.
Yeah.
A placement officer will call, do one-on-one counseling, that in which particular job you want to apply, what is your domain and all. So I asked a funny question to him कि सर अगर डायरेक्टर बनना है तो क्या skills चाहिए. So this is on a lighter note I asked him and he explained me अगर डायरेक्टर बनना it's a top first position, but never there in the college it was a mindset that I want to become a CEO or a founder, but eventual consistently working into technology, into new technology, solving complex problems, building something around technology led to the position which I am today.
So, what was your favorite tech stack back then that you were working on?
So see, favorite tech stack if you talk about. So tech stack overall, see, it is more about like everyone is overall speaking like AI first, AI, like it's a lot of buzz around there. But overall, like how everyone should think. There is nothing favorite. We should always think about a problem, what problem we are solving, and in that particular problem, which particular technology stack is best to solve that particular problem. That should be our favorite technology
Okay.
for solving that specific problem. So if we like overall tell, like if we talk about Amazon, so how Amazon is leveraging AI, it's basically they are giving you, they started with recommendations, right? So overall Amazon is an e-commerce company. They are into other multiple businesses, but they are giving you personalized recommendation to upsell their products, right? So this is how AI is used by Amazon, right? So their favorite tech stack, again, if you talk about today, is at scale how they are implementing this particular e-commerce where millions of users are interacting every second and millions of products are getting delivered every minute. So that should be a favorite. So if we talk about Meta also, what they are doing, they are using some technology stack. We can tell AI that for personalized branding, personalized AdWords and all, right? What they are doing. So it is more about not which is favorite, which is not favorite, but always the problem you are solving and technologies around them which can build that solution should be your favorite technologies.
So it is at the
Eventually,
end a good learning to just adapt yourself that what solves more number of problems at a particular time. Great, sir. You are currently running a company named Tuskers AI, which is a no-code AI vision platform, right? So brief something about that to the audience, right? What is that? What is no-code platform?
Yeah. So eventually, in Tusker, what we do? So basically, it's a no-code AI platform where anyone and everyone can come and build their own AI models without writing a single line of code.
Okay.
And currently, now we are evolving that particular product in a way where we are creating agentic AI models, where by a simple user prompt that what he actually needs into AI specific to images and videos, he can just tell to an AI agent, and that AI agent will itself understand that what the user requirements are, and based on that, on top of that, it can create the data or ask for a data, it can build the model and automatically deploy as well. So it is like any tech founder or a non-tech founder or any functional guy also, if they want to start their AI journey, they can start as early as in an hour, or not less than a day. They can start their AI journey. So this is how overall what Tusker does. So it's a like one-click solution for any user who wants to build anything into images and videos.
So if someone has to make their database customized, तो वो डेटा अपलोड भी कर सकते हैं और उनको अगर डेटाबेस चाहिए होगा तो वो इन्वेंटरी में से ऐसा सेलेक्ट भी कर सकते हैं
So
like
I'll
that.
just correct you on that. It's not so. It's more on images and videos.
Okay.
So if you have your data to train, you can give. If you don't have, we have like data synthesizer, which with a one reference image can generate the multiple reference images and develop and base AI model which a user can kickstart. So it's not like if you're thinking of AI now, then stakeholder has to wait for 2 to 3 quarters to get something up and running, and then go in a black box problem. With the framework and the tool which we have, in a given day, he'll figure out that whether this technology is solving my specific problem or not. And if it is not solving, then what challenges he would be facing to solve that specific problem. Once he overcomes, then again he can come and build that AI model. So in a day he can like start his AI journey.
So, sir, recently everyone is saying that AI is currently booming, and it is also correct. But with that, what other technologies are currently being leveraged or currently being, at a greater scale, working at a greater scale currently?
Yeah. So when you talk about AI, so overall AI is almost everywhere. Like if you touch base on any domain, you touch base on any line, AI is almost everywhere. Now if you talk other than AI, right? So why you're asking this is more of there is a lot of buzz like AI first company, build everything on AI. That's why these questions are all arising. But other than AI, if we think there are a lot of things. So if we talk about first, so there is something into reinforcement,
Yeah.
which is an upcoming technology. Other is more into quantum computing, which is also upcoming. You can think of self-driving car, flying cars
Hmm.
would be a new normal,
Yeah.
space tech, neuroscience, bioengineering, energy tech, clean tech.
Hmm.
So all these are also different other domains which people can explore to build some startups or some products around this. Obviously, AI can be an integral part of these things would be used, but these are other things which people can overall explore if they want to start building something other than AI on a specific domain.
Yeah. And sir, in recent times we have seen that सभी students या कोई भी working professional है, सबका go to app बन गया है ChatGPT और Gemini और there are more other AI apps, right?
Yeah.
So how this will affect at the end humans' creativity or the ability of humans to build something?
So see, if we are talking about that, if we are like using a lot of AI with a lot of AI tools, so obviously there are a lot of advantages. Plus, there are a lot of things where people should be more cautious. So if you talk about students or a industry professional, so you should not be more over rely on the tools.
Hmm.
You should actually go to the foundation thing, that how they are built, what are complex things or what math they have used, what algorithms they have used. So that is one. So don't only over rely or overlook the tools.
Hmm.
That is the first thing. Second is majorly other like issue which we can tell is like AI is beyond borders, but like every specific country would have their own rules,
Hmm.
right? So accordingly, there are certain privacy concerns that people should look at. Other is like if you have heard like recently there were a lot of deep fakes which are
Yeah.
coming. There is a lot of like there was a chatbots which they were made, but people have asked certain questions. The chatbots are like one of the chatbot hallucinated,
Hmm.
and when you ask anything, it will always reply as a Hitler.
Yeah.
So that type of things are more of a say we can say some disadvantages if AI is not used in a right way or a proper way.
In today's time, even we think that there are some rules and regulations that should be there. So is India up to something rules or particular regulations that they have been followed?
Yeah. So now you talk about AI and regulations and all. So that's what I said earlier. So AI is beyond borders. Everyone is using, but every country has their own laws. So there where if you talk about UK, so UK has already built certain policies
Yeah.
to use AI. Same way US, China, and other few countries are writing something
Hmm.
to regulate certain things, not complete AI, but regulate that how AI should be used. In India, India is also coming up with IT policy. So it would be, I think, out in a year or so, as per my news.
Yeah.
It might get early also or delay also. So India also coming up certain regulations, not specific to AI. Yeah, AI would be a part of it, but with specific to overall IT space and all.
Yeah.
So that is where India is moving forward, and other different countries are also moving forward.
Yeah. Sir, we have seen that multiple CEOs, maybe in specifically in America and all, even Nikhil Kamath recently once said that everyone, if they want to start from scrap, like they want to, quit all the business and entrepreneurship they has done, and if they want to start from scrap, they, everyone suggestion is that everyone should start with AI, start understanding AI. So are they talking about building a AI product, AI based product, or running businesses that currently runs through AI with automated tasks or everything?
So, like, if I rightly understand your question, it's more of like using AI into the regular business,
Hmm.
or like start building around AI only,
Yeah.
not think of the
Creating.
business.
Yeah.
So, eventually, in recent times, both are true, right? So, if you talk about a lot of businesses, like if you talk about like all the big companies which you hear, so if you talk about Google, you talk about Netflix, or you talk about Amazon, right? You talk about Meta. So, what they have done, they have built businesses, and on top of their businesses, they are using multiple AI tools to scale their business or to generate more revenues or reach to a larger audience. So this is one way of looking at. And when we talk On the other way around, there are companies like Perplexity,
Yeah.
or companies like ChatGPT, or companies like Claude or Entropy. They are building frameworks out in out a AI first company, where again, if you look at their frameworks, on top of their frameworks, people are building multiple apps and solving some business specific problems using that AI tool.
Yeah.
So when you're building something, yeah, always business is first. And these are other type of companies where other people who have little exposure to data and all, they are using these frameworks and solving multiple real world problems to scale. So if if you rightly say both are true, right? But at the end is more about like scale, reaching global audience, like minting more avenues for your business, and all these things will come overall when you talk about like AI first company or business with AI.
Yeah. So, sir, if you were supposed to start a company or a entrepreneur journey, if you were able to start in any domain with less or no investment capital with you, how would you start a company? Hypothetically, not
Yeah.
aiming it to the accuratest part, but how would you start with low or no investment? And what AI tools will you use to start working up that particular company?
So see, if you talk about IT as a whole, so we people into this space are overall, I think, more fortunate. So when you look at other industries, so if we talk about manufacturing or if you talk about logistics or any of the other industries, so if you talk about stock markets or in like anything into fintech, they require a lot of capex. Like they require money to earn money, right? So a lot of capital expenditure which is going there, and ROI would come down the line 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, and heavy investments are done. Now in IT, we are very much fortunate. That is all about our idea. It is all about our execution. And it is all about the founders or co-founders, their mindset and their uniqueness to solve that specific problem. So in IT, if we want to become a profitable business with a less investments and all, it's more about idea, how you like execute that idea. So it is all like how much efforts you put, right? So investment is all your mind, and all your skills is your investment into IT. Yeah, you will need a capex for marketing and everything, but that comes later. So when you're building a product, building a profitable product without investment in IT, investment is our mind and is our skill and the idea, which requires no investment.
Yeah. So, sir, in recent times, we have seen that there were so many AI models that were from US or from UK, but now India is also positioning in the AI era. So, how do you see that? How AI is evolving? India is evolving in the terms of AI and how it is adapting, or where will it reach at a global level?
So see, when you talk about India, so overall, if we take, there are a lot of initiatives which the present government is taking. So when we talk about Digital India initiative, Startup India initiative, India AI initiative, which is recently there, right? There they're taking a lot of GPUs and all. There is semiconductor initiatives which are taken by the government. There is a lot of push from the government. There are a lot of grants from the government which is coming up to build up facilities and ecosystems where AI can be a front runner, not into specific to AI. Obviously, AI is there in the front runner, but in all the upcoming technology trends which are overall there in the Western countries. So, if we look specific to India, so India is the largest talent pool in the world and best in class talent pool. So when you talk about, like, we all know that a lot of Fortune 500 company CEOs are more of an Indian origin. So what India overall lacks, if we talk about that, is more of, and what they have as an advantage is like access to capital. So access to large capital, not capital. Capital access is there in India also, but like access to large capital, that is one thing. Second is the mindset. Like they are more thinking as a creator, and they take failure as a badge. In India, like success is the only way where you are seen in the society. If you are a failure, there is a certain mindset issue in the society as well, and eventually it affects the founder who is building something and getting failed. Third is more where a lot of R&D facility, lot of infrastructures that needs to get improved, that eventually government is overall trying to improve that. But and as per Indian mindset, we play safe.
Yeah,
So
everyone tries to play
yeah,
safe.
so we not now, but like before few years, like if you are building or some idea, if some idea which is a moonshot, so say for example Tesla, if you talk about SpaceX, people will laugh at you.
Yeah.
So no one is ready to take bet on you or invest that capital. But all this where the problems now, a lot of things, a lot of ecosystems is getting improved. So eventually, if we say next 5 years, 10 years down the line, India can be on head to head with the global leaders in the company, not only in AI, but in a lot of other technologies as well.
Yeah, I love that point that in India only success is being praised. You know, there is no one talking about failures. Correct. So, sir, there is a buzzard being created in the world that AI is going to take a lot of jobs, or some positive entrepreneurs are saying that AI is going to create a lot of jobs. So, what is your opinion or what, your thought on that thing?
So see, uh, these are the steps like where from last I think 2 decades, where I was also in the college, we used to hear something there. At that time AI was not there, there were other different technologies. So from last 2 to 3 decades, when internet also came, there was a buzz that it will take jobs and all. Then came the mobile technology, so there were also, it was like it will eat up a lot of things and all. Then came the cloud era, cloud computing era. There were a lot of buzz that it will take all the networking jobs and all this, what network engineers will do. But what eventually happened? All this technology created new avenues of business,
Yeah.
opened new products, new avenues, new spaces for the business, and eventually it created more jobs. So if you take an example of Airbnb, it disrupted 50-year, 100-year-old hotel businesses.
Yeah.
So they were telling that with this, the travel industry will go away. But it has increased in multifolds into billions of dollars. That has opened up the market. If you talk about Uber, what it did, they were telling that taxi industry will go away. Eventually, what happened? Automobile industry had new business with the new drivers, and eventually billions of dollars of new businesses were created with ease of use and all. So as and when there is a technology shift, these buzzwords and everything will come. But what now when we talk specific to AI, like then with AI, it will not eat up the jobs. It will eventually create more jobs. How? With technology in hands of tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities, with the help of AI, you can reach that markets also.
Yeah.
So eventually the scale of operation will increase. The localization and personalization through AI would increase. If you are developing some businesses with the help of AI, eventually it will create more jobs, it will create more avenues, more revenues, and it will explore certain unexplored markets also where businesses will not able to reach. So if we just talk about a simple example of cloud and then we'll compare with AI. So when cloud computing came, then when in like 2008-9, cloud was just a starter and a complete startup boom came. So the technology or the computation power, which was in the hand of Fortune 500 companies, that came into the hand of 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, startup founders. And there were evaluation of all the startup ecosystem came in place. There were a lot of tools, lot of things were built on top of cloud. New industries, new companies, new jobs, new avenue, and all the company which were restricted to a specific area or a specific country went global in no time. This is what cloud did. Same way, if we talk about AI, with ChatGPT, AI is there, but with ChatGPT and the access which it had, all the domains other than IT, which were not adopting AI or were resistant to adopt AI, everyone is now adopting that. So this is creating a huge market and huge flow of developers would be required to cater that particular thing. So if we talk about analogy, so when mobile app came, all the businesses moved have their own app, right? When cloud came, they moved to cloud. When data analytics came, they went on to do certain data analytics and build something with the business intelligence dashboards and everything,
Yeah.
where they already had their websites, and then they moved to this. Now with AI, all the businesses will redefine, will have new problem sets where AI can solve their problems. So it's a whole new market which will overall get open, and a lot of new jobs with a different skill set will get opened for the markets.
Yeah. So now, sir, we will specifically talk about students who really want to get into the AI industry. Initially, for an 18-year-old in a college first year, it is difficult, or I mean, students feel scary about AI. Learning huge lines of codes, understanding the algorithm, and all. So, how should one student approach that process of learning?
So when you talk about learning, so overall with the current generation, what they want to learn very fast.
Hmm.
So like with the advances of social media and all, that like attention time is very less. Now when you compare like what they want, like this is like there is a lot of buzz in the student community across the world, like why should you go to universities, or why should you learn these subjects which are not of your interest, and this and that. There are a lot of things. But now when you talk about, if in India, Indian origin CEOs, or if you talk about, you look as an ideal, right? You talked about Nitin Kamath, you look as an idol. You look Elon Musk, or a lot the people who are big CEOs. They have gone through the same process. They have learned all this. They have learned everything. They had their patience. Eventually, that patience led to this big company. So Facebook was not Facebook at 2005. It was just launched. Facebook became Facebook at 2015, right? And then the growth starts. So eventually, it was growing. So everyone has followed certain things. So basically, it's more patience. Your foundation should be very clear. So if you overall look, then see, technology may come and go, right? But basics will never change. So when you talk about databases, you talk about data structures, if you talk about logic building, if you talk about programming languages, right? If you talk about optimizations, right? Now, all these are basic things. All the technologies which are built, they are built on top of all these things. So their foundations should be very clear. But with that foundation, with rapid learning, they can use these AI tools to accelerate that learning. And like overnight success, yeah, it is there, but it is half a percent on 1% chance where you get an overnight success. But when you eventually look at your ideals also, where they become big, they have become big while working on the same thing again and again, solving the problems in their particular business over the decade. There where you look these idols. So they should eventually, students should focus on foundations. That is one. Their maths, their problem solving skills, and their algorithms should be very aligned. It's not like just using AI tool to build something, writing like using certain 5-10 lines of API and building some products, or like building few projects with using that Claude or GPT APIs, and you build some projects. Yeah, that's good for kickstart. But eventually, if you want to go big or build something big in terms of product, then you should more deep dive. So you should have more depth and then focus on breadth once you are learning anything.
Yeah. So, sir, is learning programming language, for example, is if learning only Python and GPT enough for a person to excel in AI?
So again, see, I would frame this question in a way like Python again, in a nutshell, it's a programming language, right? So technically, what a student should know is his logical skills, problem solving skills, and analytical skills. These three skills should be like up to the mark. Then any programming language may come or may go. It is only the syntax will get changed. So if you have like one programming language in your hand, learning any other programming language which will come, only a syntax will change. So, but if your these three skills are not aligned, then you will learn a language, you will not learn a concept. So if you talk about C, and if you compare it with C and core Python, What is the change?
Yeah, only the syntax.
Only the syntax, which is concepts are not changing in overall evaluation. So Python is a tool to learn AI, and ChatGPT is one framework which is built on a certain programming language, maybe Python. Mostly it is written in Python, maybe in Python. So only that thing, maybe you should get more depth and then scale according to the breadth for a specific student. Only learning these two will not solve a problem. You can build some projects, but it will be more overlooked kind of thing a student will make. He'll not understand the depth of the particular technology.
Yeah. So, sir, from doing your masters to getting into being a CEO of a company, so there would be one journey that you have been following, right?
Yeah.
So, would you advise a particular normal 22 or 23-year-old student who is just graduated, and if he wants to start his journey, by initially learning being an employee and then start a company, or should already start a company, of what journey you would suggest to that particular student?
So again, that particular journey will depend on your circle of your college, your networking skills, your particular network, your individual ability in that 4 or 5 years of your college, what you have done. So if you have an idea, if it is solving a specific problem, and with new generative AI tools, you can build very fast. It will not take a year to build something.
Yeah.
It will just take a month or two to build something. And if you are having paying customers, then you can like kickstart your journey at any given day. And if you're not confident, you don't have this particular thing, then again you should go as an employee. You should work there, but you should not think that I am an employee, there is a weekend or there is a 9 to 5 job, right? Why I should work for 10 hours, why I should work for 12 hours. It should not be there when you are an employee. So like, see, everyone is dreaming of becoming multi-millionaire or billionaire, right? Everyone is seeing reels of biggest Hollywood and Bollywood stars looking at their mansions and houses and all. But when you look at the reality, like if we talk about Shah Rukh Khan, then in which particular days he earns a lot? It is the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
And now what new age employees are telling? It is a weekend for us. We'll do rest. Now, when you talk about big businessmen, like if we talk about Reliance, right? Heavy amount of Reliance will earn in weekends. If you talk about Netflix, then 70 to 60% of Netflix is watched in the weekend. So maximum revenues come on the weekend where we want to take rest.
Correct.
So the mindset is more important for a specific student, that what he wants to do. So never think, if you think you are an employee, then you always become an employee. But if you think that this is my task, this company has given me chance, let me take best out of it, let me work best out of it, eventually we'll start building something with that particular company also, or you can start building something of your own as well. And if you have certain ideas also while being an employee, that company's stakeholders will also support you to building that.
Yeah.
So that is also more important. And as a student, I think specific in India, what they lack, I just like to highlight this short point, that no one has a mentor. So that's a big problem. So you have to start early also. Without mentorship, yeah, you can succeed. But there are there is a lot of learning which will come in place. So always people or students who are starting their college or like in an unemployment should have 3 4 mentors. They should meet them regularly every month or every quarter, discuss certain things that will help their journey, either building something or to be best at what they are if they are working somewhere. So this is what students should also look at.
Yeah, so sir, the main point that we highlight that you talked about is mainly about peer, and you
Yeah.
must be as a mentee of some other mentor. So in recent times, people do complain in tier 2 or tier 3 colleges that they don't have a good peer in their college. That's why they are lacking sometimes. They don't have a good environment. So back then in 2008, when you were there, technology was very limited. At that moment also, you got into a lot of connections, you met people, and you did projects. So what advice would you give to a student who should connect more to the people, who should connect out of his way, not in the college as well, he should connect the other college as well? What are the mediums through which he can connect?
So like if you look at the current market, any tier 2, tier 3 colleges or university, there is a lot of information available on the social media. There is a lot of things which is happening. There is a lot of data which is reaching to you, right? So again, you need to be an hustler. So there is a term called hustler in startup. So you
Hmm.
need to become an hustler. So in our times, yeah, there were limitations. But if you know how to hustle, eventually you'll able to reach there. So if in your Instagram reel, if a Hollywood Bollywood star new movie is coming, and if it is reaching to tier 4 or tier 3 mobiles,
Hmm.
why not that technology?
Hmm.
Why not that mentor? Why not that event which is happening in metro cities? Because you're not searching the right content, or you are not exposed or looking at the right content.
Hmm.
राइट तो अगर कोई नई मूवी का ट्रेलर आया तो वो
Hmm.
तो सीधा इंस्टाग्राम की रील में आ जाता है
हाँ.
राइट तो वो क्यों आता है क्योंकि आप उसको कंज्यूम कर रहे हो सो नाउ इफ यू आर कंज्यूमिंग द राइट अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा यू विल गेट पीयर्स
Hmm.
you will get that events. So if you talk about if you are sitting in Ahmedabad, which is a tier 2 city,
Hmm.
every given day there are one or two IT events which are happening.
Yeah.
It is about the exposure which you don't have.
Hmm.
And then you are telling that we don't have that exposure in our college or in our university. It is not, we are not hustling to get that. That is what is the actual problem. That is what I think.
Yeah. So now, sir, getting to a entrepreneurial section, आपने बहुत सारी कंपनीज का पार्ट भी रह चुके हो और अभी भी यू आर CEO ऑफ मल्टीपल कंपनीज राइट नाउ. सो what is that learning that is making you, you know, you are doing a lot of hard work, you are working your way out to just solve a lot of problems. What is it that is really into you?
So basically, what I said, it is there from the beginning only. So if I like look myself when I was like 10, 12-year-old kid, it was always in my, I think, DNA. Like try out new things,
Hmm.
do new things. If there was vacation also, I was never used to sit idle.
Hmm.
I used to play cricket, coaching in the morning. Afternoon, I used to do swimming. Then I used to do karate. In the night, I used to play volleyball with the people bigger, like 10 years
Elder.
bigger than elder than me and all, right?
Hmm.
So it's like overall what I would say to everyone, rather than like thinking that I want to do something, I'll do it one day. These are the problems, that are the problems. And then if you start doing something, right, then eventually there would become an ecosystem around you which will help you to do something.
Hmm.
But it is that you have to start. So when you talk about me, it is always like I wanted to hustle, and I did hustling. Right after 12th also, where like people were कितने मार्क मेरे आए क्या percentage आए. I was also not a first ranker or like top 10 rankers also. So after 12th, I started doing a marketing job. I did door to door marketing. So there was no need of doing that. There was no financial problem also. But still, कि अगर free बैठे हैं, better I do something. Marketing की job दे door to door marketing करके ये product बेचनी है. I did that
Hmm.
for 2 months.
Yeah.
Then I left it also. But
Hmm.
it is eventually that rather than thinking, it should be more on your execution side.
Exhibitions.
Second thing is more, you should be more collaborative. So collaborative like हर बार ऐसा नहीं होगा कि अपने कोई कुछ आइडिया आ जाएगा
Hmm.
या अपने ही कुछ कर लेंगे, ऐसा नहीं होगा. काफ़ी बार ऐसा होगा कि हमारे साथ वाले कोई लोग हैं. Rather like you should always look at people who are like elder than you.
Hmm.
10 साल 20 के.
Hmm.
So you should be more comfortable adjusting. मैं मेरे रूल पे चलाऊंगा ऐसा नहीं. हाँ कोई है उसका खुद कुछ बना रहा है, हमको आइडिया नहीं आ रहा है, और so we should adjust with them. Once we start adjusting, तो we would be in their team. Once we are into their team, again हमारी जो थॉट प्रोसेस है, हमको कुछ बनाना है तो हम बनाना चालू कर देंगे बिकॉज वी आर पार्ट ऑफ दैट टीम. सो यू शुड बी मोर कोलैबोरेटिव. थर्ड इज यू शुड बी मोर ओपन टू लर्न. सो ओपन टू लर्न इज बेसिकली अगर कुछ बोल दे रहा है कभी तूने बरोबर अच्छा नहीं किया है, राइट, यू शुड एक्सेप्ट दैट. अभी का प्रॉब्लम क्या है, इसने मेरे को क्यों बोल दिया, ये मेरे को नहीं बोल सकता. सो दैट इज अ स्टैंडर्ड थिंग. इट विल hurt your ego, it will hurt your attitude and everything. That should not be the case. So I'll just give you one example. I think Roger Federer. So in one of the interview, someone asked, you are the number one player in the tennis. How did you? The same question which you asked me right now. Now what he told? He told that in my entire career, right, I have lost more than I have won. But I won some critical points at some critical moment that led me to win that championships. Right? So now if you look at him also, so what he's telling, उसने क्या किया, उसने टेनिस में जितने बॉल खेले across his matches, so around 49 to 50 like कुछ there was a number, I don't remember the number, but like 51% of the ball में वो हारा ही था. 51% points वो हारा था. 49 या 45% points ही वो. So technically, he was accurate 45% only, but he was consistent into that. That why Sachin is Sachin. उसकी भी एवरेज एक्यूरेसी कितनी है 60% ही है तो 40% तो वो भी फेल ही हुआ है पर ही प्लेड लॉन्ग ही प्लेड वेंट ऑन गोइंग प्लेइंग एक बार अगर कोई स्पेसिफिक ऑन अ स्पेसिफिक बॉल ही यूज्ड टू गेट आउट he used to practice that ball again and again. So that should be your openness to listen. So there would be problems. People might be right or wrong. That's a different thing. But you should be open up of listening. So why sports is more important? So every day, either you will lose or you will win. So that sports will teach you to lose every day. And once you adopt that thing, you will have that mindset. अभी हारते भी है हर बार हम नहीं जीतेंगे हर बार हम सही नहीं होते अब हारोगे तो सामने वाले ने कुछ अच्छा किया तभी तुम हारे हो पर प्रॉब्लम व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रोफेशनल लाइफ वो बेंचमार्क नहीं है कि आप क्यों हारे किसी ने आपको क्यों कुछ बोल दिया ये खराब काम है तो मेरे को क्यों कोई बोल गया वो बेंचमार्क नहीं है ऑन योर टर्म्स सिटिंग यू आर थिंकिंग आई एम गुड एंड आई डिड माई बेस्ट इसने मेरे को ये नहीं बोला उसने मेरे को ये नहीं बोला ये था मेरे पास रिक्वायरमेंट प्रॉपर नहीं आई थी जो भी है कस्टमर ही बेकार है ऑल दैट देयर इज नो बेंचमार्क व्हेन यू गो टू स्पोर्ट्स इट इज a clear benchmark why you are losing it's not every time you will win right so that openness should be there as an entrepreneur so these are like 3-4 things that everyone should adapt and learn if they want to build something on their own.
Okay, sir. So now, sir, we are at the end of the podcast, and we will do a nice fun section.
Okay.
In which I will be asking you questions rapidly, and you just have to answer in seconds.
Yeah.
So, favorite AI tool currently for coding?
So for coding, I think we are using a lot of Cursor.
Cursor.
Yeah. Currently, we are using a lot. It has improved our company efficiency by more than 70-80%.
Okay.
So I think Cursor would be currently one of my favorites.
Sir, what would you choose between two? Build something perfectly slowly, or ship faster and improve later on?
Yeah. So now, if this question was before 20 years, first would be the answer. But now with the tools and the technology and the exposure we have, it is like ship faster and be perfect later. Because be perfect later can be more easy with the access of technology which we have right now.
Sticking to one language perfectly or learning all the languages?
No, one language in depth is better. That eventually will help you to learn multiple languages.
What inspires you more? Create the next ChatGPT or build India's own Tesla?
So, like as a technologist, if you tell me, it would be more about create a next ChatGPT.
Yeah. Startup stress or corporate comfort if you are getting a high paying salary in corporate?
I think I should tweak this question. So, startup is actually never a stress.
Okay.
So, it is what you are consuming actually. So, stress is overall like if you are not comfortable in something what you are building, or you are not more skilled enough to build that, at that point in time, stress will come. So, startup is not a stress. If you are like enjoying what you are building, problems may come. If you are enjoying that, if you are hustling for that, you can solve that. So, at obvious any given day, my answer would be building a new startup.
Human creativity or machine efficiency?
So I think both are unstoppable. So like creativity, like will dream it, and machine will build it with more efficient way. So like both are hand to hand more unstoppable.
Yeah.
So it is human creativity will dream. Eventually, will create a machine to work that more efficiently.
So now, sir, one last piece of advice to a student pursuing AI, to an entrepreneur starting his journey, and to a person who is not in tech, who is in non-tech and wants to start a journey in the tech. Just one piece line of the advice, or you want a quick a quote or anything.
So for a student, there is a lot of things where like AI will eat away our jobs and all that. A lot of things which are all the time. So AI for everyone is a tool which helps you to remove your repetitive task, and everyone should use that tools to like where it will reduce your repetitive tasks. Plus, you should be more into problem solving, architecting, and having a certain domain expert. So for entrepreneur, a domain expert is must. Then use a AI tool on top of that. a non-technical guy who wants to build something on AI, if he is good into his particular domain, then he should start building something. And as a student, he should use AI as a tool, not see as a competitor if it is doing your coding. And student should more focus on his more creativity, his analytical skills, his architecting skills, and gain some domain expertise to get a brighter career.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this.